Oh, that caught us by surprise, didn't it? Lovely. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast, and I am Stanford Chidge. And instead of doing a bit of a talk about another match, in view of the fact we only had one this week, I thought it'd be much more fun to have a right old chat about a question, actually, that somebody asked us on CFFC a couple of weeks ago. And they asked us the question who we thought would be staying at Chelsea next season and who would be going. And actually, funnily enough, I decided to do this before the entire media this weekend decided to do a great big discussion about the fact that Jose says he's going to have a major clear out. And funnily enough, even more funnily enough, my list is not a million miles away from what you would expect. With one honourable exception is that I've only concentrated on what I consider to be kind of first team players right now. So if we kind of go through this, there's kind of three parts to this. One is nailed on to stay, in my opinion, nailed on to leave, in my opinion, and then a little bit of a debate, should they stay or should they go, which is a bit like a balloon debate. You know what a balloon debate is?
No idea.
No. Do you know what a balloon debate is?
I do, but I'm not going to discuss it with you.
Do you know what's really funny? When I spoke to Darren the other day, he said, how's Jonathan going to be? And I said, actually, if we lose, he gets a bit ranty.
I do. I get surly.
But you've gone a bit mopey.
I have got
You're
mopey and surly.
You're
I get ranty. Well, you've told me not to rant. You said don't talk very much.
No, I didn't say that.
You said at the very beginning, he told me not to talk very much.
He said don't talk over other people. He never said you can't rant.
Yeah. Because last week we all talked over each other and it was very annoying when I listened back to it.
Okay.
It's quite a simple concept of etiquette. When one person's talking, you don't
I don't want to talk over the
You don't have to put up with this on your show, do you?
When can I rant? When can I rant?
I've been on your show. They're all really nice and well polite and they behave. Not like these idiots. Look what I have to put up with every week. Anyway, right, okay, nailed on to stay.
You did cherry pick us to be on your show.
That wouldn't be Jonathan, obviously, or Darren, but nailed on to stay. Now listen, this is supposed to be a serious part.
Benches. Thank you, benches.
You'll be thrown in your knickers if you don't shut up. Right, okay, nailed on to stay. Okay, I think if you look at the defence first, nailed on to stay. Petr definitely. Harry's already shaking his head.
But with Courtois coming in.
What about Courtois?
Did we come? Well, he's asked, hasn't he, to come in to actually.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Well, you just asked me.
Let me run through the list first. Nailed on to stay, in my opinion, check. Gary Cahill, I think we've already said. I think future captain in waiting. Azpilicueta, again,
brilliant
another
season,
superb player, and I think he is an absolute definitely nailed on and will be the backbone of the team. I'm going to move on to the midfield. Matic, definitely. Willian, definitely.
Yes.
Oscar and Hazard. I mean, again, we're going to be building the team around Oscar and Hazard, so they've got to be here. I would also say, I think maybe arguably, I think Salah will be here because I think they only just bought him. He's got potential, so you're not going to ship him out yet. I will not. I mean, there are no strikers in my list of nailed on to stay because I think they're all going to go. So we'll move on to who I think are nailed on to leave. This might surprise a few, but I think Ashley Cole will go.
I think he'll go to Real Madrid.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's been weird rumours that he might go to the club that can't be named. I know. Well, you never know. I mean, Brendan Rodgers did like him. But I think Ash is on his way. I also think Mikel's going to go. He's not getting picked. He's young enough. He's been here a long time. He's won everything he can win at the club. I can see him going. There's rumours being talked about Galatasaray at the moment. And then we get to the forwards. Definitely, I think I'm praying to God the last we'll see of Bar and Torres will be this season. I mean, look at them, the Chuckle Brothers. Cheech and Chong gone wrong. Yeah, they are brothers, you can tell. Anyway, I mean, for me, that's nailed on to go. And I think the debates will therefore centre around the following. JT, contract up for renewal this season, getting old. David Luiz, possible, one we can discuss. The midfield, Ramirez. You may say no. You may say Jose loves him. Maybe it's wishful thinking on my part. Who can say?
He's not been good this season.
I think Ramirez is a question mark. Lamps, another one. Look at that. I love that photograph. He'd just broken the record of that, hadn't he?
Yes.
But anyway, Lamps. I think there's a question mark over Lamps.
Yes.
In a black kitty.
And also, I think there's a question mark over Eto'o because I don't think it's obvious that he'll go. I know that there's been a bit of war of words between him and Mourinho about him being 93. But actually, I think the thing is that, Eto'o, in a season where we had two other really good strikers, Eto'o would have been perfect to come in and do a job. And actually, I think that Eto'o has done the job that you could have expected. In fact, I actually think he's exceeded the job that we could have expected of him. The fact that he's ended up being our best striker by a country mile says it all, doesn't it?
No one was expecting it.
That is my list, boys. Where would you like to start?
This was what someone just tweeted.
Oh my God, I don't want to see that.
It's just showing just how bad our strikers are away from home.
Right.
So,
oh my God,
in
that's
a combined
awful,
28 appearances away from home, we've scored 2 goals. Our strikers have scored 2 goals amongst them. Man City have scored 16 and Liverpool have scored 21.
That's frightening, isn't it?
2.
Yeah, it's
all
frightening.
season away from
anyway,
home.
look, come on, job at hand. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that answers my question about strikers.
Yeah.
Get rid of them all.
Okay, let's work from the back. From the back to front, as it were. Eto'o, shush people. Eto'o, you think he'll stay or go?
I think Mourinho will keep him because you need someone there. I reckon he's going to keep Eto'o. He'll bring back Lukaku and then he'll get someone world class. So you've got someone old but reliable, someone coming up who's fairly reliable for like the more, like you say, mediocre games, and then you've got some.
And he's a bit of a leader, and he's a world-class player, and he can pass on good habits to younger players.
We've talked about before, he's a very good influence. He's very good at geeing people up in a way that other players in the team.
It's probably because he has that stuff that he goes.
Yes, every time he goes,
gees him up.
I'm not convinced that he'll bring Lukaku back. Actually,
No, I'm not.
I think he'll sell him for about 22 million.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of players actually who are currently out on loan which he will use to as a bit of a war chest. Yeah, definitely. So are you a fan of keeping Eto'o?
Yeah, definitely. 1 year deal. Why not?
Yeah, brilliant
absolutely.
stuff. What say you guys on the benches?
Yeah, I'd like to keep Eto'o for another season. I think he's a quality player. He's still got a lot to offer, and he'll be a great squad player for us.
Okay. By all means, fill me in with anything that's coming from Mixler or Twitter on this very subject. They like all this kind of stuff, so I'd be surprised not to hear from them.
What did we say about
my Mixler seems to have frozen about 22 minutes
we'll go
ago.
on to Twitter then.
What did we say about Luis just earlier?
Well, we're going to go to him in a minute, but we're going to go to the midfield first. And I've got doubts over Lampard and I've got doubts over Ramirez. For what it's worth, I think Lamps will stay. And I'm not sure about Ramirez. I mean, basically, I think that he probably will stay because I mean, the evidence is before us that Mourinho, picks him one of his first on his team sheet every week. So I think that Mourinho likes him, but
I think we missed him on Saturday because I think he may give the ball away a lot,
but he gets in there, doesn't he?
And also, he's very swift indeed.
Yeah,
he's swift.
Something that's
like the wind.
Swift, rapid.
Like the wind.
Yes, he is. There's a lot of celerity with him.
There's a lot of what?
Celerity. It means the same thing as.
Hang on, I've just learnt a new word, folks. For those of you who missed it, celerity. What does celerity mean?
It means quick, speed.
Like the wind.
Exactly, like the wind.
Like the wind.
His celerity is great, like the wind.
He's a celerity like me. Is he a Z-less? Is he a Z-less celerity? Oh dear. So you think Rambo will be staying?
No, I suspect he might get rid of him. But I just think,
why do you think he might get rid of him?
Because he gives the ball away too much.
I mean, this is my problem with it.
He does like ball retention, our manager. He does like people who can.
He likes balls, period.
Balls retention.
He likes balls retention. Yeah. I think it's really tricky with Ramirez. I don't know whether he'll stay or he will go. I mean, it's a tricky one. That. What's saying? You think stay?
Yeah, I think he's going to stay.
He says stay.
I
Darren?
think he'll stay as well.
So we keep Rambo. What about Rubber Man? Yes or no?
I think if we got a good offer, we consider it.
So bench is a bit of a question mark. What about Lampard, you lot? I mean, I think I think you keep him for another year because I tell you for why, guys. He doesn't seem to be complaining. Unlike last year when it all got a bit nasty, Lamps is kind of, he's taken on board his new role, the fact that his legs are going a bit and he's only used sparingly. And I think he's like, I think Lamps is looking at his presence at Chelsea now as one of like a bit of a father figure, and he's passing on knowledge and experience and advice rather than being the key man, which is what he's been for 10 years.
Possibly a player-coach role.
Well, there is rumour of that, isn't there?
I think he's a fantastic influence. He's Chelsea through and through. For the young kids, Hazard, etc., etc., he's a great man to look up to.
And I mean, to be honest, Dan, a lot of these players like Eden Hazard and Oscar particularly came to the club because they wanted to be tutored, as it were, by Frank Lampard. So, all this rubbish about him going off to the MLS again, I'm not buying it for 1 minute. I think he'll stay.
They're always going to link him to things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of footballers are going
journalism.
out there now as well, so they always do. They think, we'll put that. People will think it makes sense, people will go with it. I mean, the truth is, I don't think they'll bother doing it now before the end of the season. I think it'll be Well, at least till May time. I don't think it'll be this month. They do his contract. I think they'll wait now.
I think he'll stay. I really do. Now, I put Branner controversially as a should he stay or should he go in the defence, and the reason I've done that is that Aspie is a quality player, and of course we're rumoured to be in for Luke Shaw. So it just kind of puts a slight issue. Now, I wrote that before the press conference where Jose came out and said, I can't teach, and there's nothing to teach Branner, Cahill and Aspie because they're all brilliant. And it's therefore made me realise that there's no way he would think about getting rid of Branner. And I'm personally glad about that because Branner's a lot bigger than me and he would punch me. But also, he's been a cult hero of mine since day one. I absolutely love the guy.
Day one being the 18 months he spent injured when he signed for us.
Well, since he came in and clattered somebody, which is pretty much his first game. Don't be cheeky.
That's fair enough. I like Branner.
I love Branner, and because Branner's committed to it, and I like him. So I don't know really why I put that in there, but I just thought there might have been a doubt. But I think Branner's obviously staying. So let's get down to the real kind of proper issue.
Have we talked about JT?
Yeah, we're going to it now.
Okay.
JT, he's on a contract for his contract's up this year. So basically the rumours are he might get a year extension, but a lot of it depends on his wages and that kind of thing, and they'll try and get it down.
He's had a great season.
He's been so brilliant this season. I think that
terrific.
I can't see Jose letting him go.
Oh, why would you?
Well, I wouldn't, but any of us think he might go?
Mourinho relies on continuity. He needs an on-the-pitch leader. I think the same with Terry and Lampard. I think it'll be next month. I think they'll have to sweat it out. I don't think they'll probably get the same wage on now. If they're that bothered about what the wage they're on is, then they can go then because they shouldn't still be on the same wage they've been. They are clearly at the end of their careers now. They won't be playing every match. It shouldn't be all about that for them, but I do think that Steve Cutner, Lampard's agent, does seem to want to squeeze anything out of the club, and I don't think he's overly liked by them. But I do think that come May, Terry and Lampard will sign new contracts before.
I think so too. That's really well
I'm
put.
not convinced. I think that
you think Terry might go?
JT? No, they'll keep JT, but I think he'll get rid of Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
Jose, though, he really likes Lampard.
Well, the dilemma is they've got so many players out on loan. Who's he going to bring back?
Well, I think that they're going to sell a lot of the players that are out on loan.
Yeah, it's possible. Is that chap is the Toure, the winger, isn't he? Who's been playing at Vitesse?
Traore.
Traore. I mean, is he going to be?
Don't blame it on. No.
Yeah.
Well, he's apparently very good.
Well, indeed.
Indeed. But he's also very young. But I think a lot of the players that have been on loan for quite a few years, I think we might see the back of. I think people like Josh McEachran, I can't see him coming back. People like that. But all right, what about? I think this is the biggest kind of spanner in the works, possibly. David Luiz. I've got a sneaking feeling he might have been on the naughty step too far, and I think. We know Barcelona are interested in him. We know Bayern are interested in him. And we know that we'll get about 30 million for him. I suspect that what will happen, he'll have an absolutely blinding World Cup.
He will.
Yeah. Brazil will win it. Brazil will win it.
His price will go up.
And I can see us cashing in. I think
40 million. I don't think 30 million.
I don't know. I don't think we'll get 40.
So what do you think? Do you think is he going to stay or go?
No, he'll go.
You're definitely think he's going to go.
I don't think Jose likes him. I think he'll go.
I think you think he'll go. Johnny?
I'd like him to stay.
So
I would too. I like Luiz.
I agree that I think
and his mad hair.
If the right money comes in.
I called him comedian in chief
would.
in an article I wrote last week.
Chameleon.
Comedian in chief.
Okay.
I would be very sorry to see Luiz go because I still think, in the right situation, played in the right way, with the right management and handling of him, I think he's still a hell of a player. And what really bugs me about Luiz is that I know that if we sold him to some big team, because he'll go to a big team, he will be a great player and he'll come back and haunt us. I can absolutely. But Harry very seldom nods in approval with what I say, but Harry Baker on the benches is nodding for England at the moment. Harry, tell me why.
I just think Luiz will be gone with Puyol leaving Barcelona.
That's
very relevant.
But do you think we'll regret it, mate? Because I'm a big fan of Luiz.
In midfield, I am. Centre back.
Yeah, not so sure.
He's all right.
Would you be sorry to see him go?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But is he going to play him in midfield? Only in
No, because I think he's going to
games.
try. Remember we've got Van Ginkel coming back.
We have.
And I think that's why I question Ramirez, you see. But I think Ramirez can be played anywhere, really, around midfield. So I think that helps him out. You know, Lamps will play a few games, but I think you know we definitely need some other bodies in midfield. Because I think turning the page, I think Luiz we're saying he's going basically. So actually, that's pretty good. Out of all of the should they stay or should they go, only Luiz. Now going to the definitely nailed on to leave. Have I got the? I mean, Torres obviously has to go.
Yep.
Please, Inter Milan.
Please.
Inter Milan. I will pay you. I will pay you, Inter Milan. He's got to go. Bar we know is already looking for outs. That's
He
no
wanted it out
loss.
in January, didn't he? So.
Well, he did, exactly. What about Mikel? That's a bit contentious. Do you think he's going to go, definitely? I think he is.
Yeah, I think if I were Mikel, I'd be thinking that Jose is going to prefer Matic. He still has a role in the club, but he's not going to have like a massive role. He won't be turning up expecting to play.
He won't be first choice, no, definitely.
There'll always be uncertainty. Well,
Yeah.
It'll always be uncertainty. I think for Mikel, I think he'll go.
Do you think that Jose will be scared of the wrath which will fall upon him from Lizzie Derham should he sell Mikel?
If he wasn't scared about the wrath from the whole Mata thing, then no.
Okay, all right. Well, I think Mikel's going to go, and I personally will be sorry to see him go because I've kind of grown to love old Mikel. I have over the years, but I think what I said in the intro to this, I think when you look at Mikel, he's been at the club for an inordinately long time.
9 years now.
Yeah, getting on for that. He's won everything he can win at the club, you know, and I think for him to now find himself down in the pecking order, I think he'll go. I think it's the right time for him to go.
I agree.
And I would actually wish him well too. I think he's been a great servant.
What
Sorry,
would they get? How much money do you think they get?
15p. Yeah. No, about, I don't know, 15 million? I don't see why not, 15, 20
yes.
million. I mean, he's 26, you know. No, you don't think so?
12, 15.
Yeah,
12, 15?
12,
Yeah.
15 million, yeah.
No, Harry, how much, Harry? Higher or lower? Lower. The price is right. Come on down, Harry Baker. So Mikel, we reckon, is off. And I think we're also pretty sure that Ashley Cole's going.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, with best wishes.
Yeah, totally. Another
he's
great
not,
servant.
Wonderful player.
Yeah.
Ashley Cole's won the European Cup. The European Cup. Yeah, I mean, I think Ash's days are numbered. I mean, again, you know, when you get to his age, you need to be playing. You really, really do.
For him, I mean, he'll want to go. I think you can't have any complaints of him going. I don't know as much as there is a debate with it. He's gone at the end of the season.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Now, very, very quickly, because we've got about a minute left, there was a bit of contention about Czech, Jonathan, when I...
Yeah, well, I just wonder what's going to happen to Courtois. He's clearly
What about
fantastic.
Courtois?
Well, I think, hasn't he not, if one can believe the press, has he not asked to, if he does come back, he needs to be challenging Czech for a first team
And I
place?
think he will. But I think Mourinho, this is why Mourinho's a great manager, he will sit them down next season and he will say, as far as I'm concerned, there is no number one. You have to go out and you have to prove who's best. And whoever proves themselves to be the best will get picked. Because I don't think you can say anything else. I think you cannot give a kid who has yet to prove himself in the Premier League a guarantee that he's going to be number one against one of the most consistently best goalkeepers in the world for the last 10 years.
If Atletico win the Champions League...
Hello, Madrid.
They go like the win.
Like the win. Like the celerity is like the win.
That's celerity.
Yeah, the celerity.
If
like
he
celerity,
wins
big
it, do you
blubber.
think it's like a celerity moment? Do you think he'll... Do you think that he'll try and stay at Atletico if they win the Champions League?
No, because he's contracted to Chelsea.
us.
Last word to Dan, I think, on this.
I think Jose proved when he came in first time, Czech was unproven. He dropped Kudicini and brought Czech in, and the rest is history. So you never know with Jose. He knows what he's doing.
But it was done on merit, Dan.
True.
It was done on merit. You know, he didn't
respect
just do it out of a whim. I think he had that conversation. Czech proved himself to be a blinding keeper, so he stuck with
Totally
him.
agreed. The same can happen with Courtois.
Exactly right, and the same thing could well happen. But I don't think that Courtois can or will come in with any guarantees.
No, agreed.
And
All
I
right.
think the thing is, though, that Kudicini was very good. He wasn't world
Yeah,
class.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That, I don't know about you lot out there, but I actually really enjoyed doing that. We should get the opportunity to do this far more often, and in a funny sort of way, we are in a minute, all right, after this break, because we're going to be doing a bit of You're on CFFC, and we're going to be doing the Chelsea Decade 11. We'll be back in a very, very short time after this break.